about that, everybody? Good afternoon. Could everybody please rise as we present the colors? Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Cover! We'd like to take just a couple of minutes for a moment of silence for any fallen brothers and sisters in the line of duty. So please take a moment of silence. Thank you. Well, welcome to the 15th annual DeForest Area Fire and EMS Car Show. Certainly appreciate everybody that has come today, all the individuals that have brought their cars. Please take some time to go and visit the different cars that are here. That's really a big part of what the car show is all about, is having some pretty interesting and beautiful restorations of cars that have been out there in our history. Saw some back in the 60s already out there, and maybe a couple older cars. Also, though, this year we have, as you see to my right, we have I've got my fire department of New York Rescue 4, and we're going to have Scott Vaughn, who is part of this Rescue 4 project. He's going to come and speak to you here in a little bit about it. But we did invite them to come in remembrance of 343 firefighters that died in the line of duty on September 11th, 2001. But the reality is we lose firefighters every day in this country. On average, we've seen about 100 every year. We've been pretty fortunate here in the United States. The last couple of years have been pretty good. We've been in about the 70s and 80s, but still way too many of our brothers and sisters that we lose every year. As a result of incidents like 9/11, there's been a number of different foundations and charities formed that are there for remembrance, to provide memorial to those types of people that have served their country and served their communities. If you looked at some of the flyers, one that was mentioned is an organization called the Gear Up Foundation. I've been involved with that organization for about 6 years. That organization, we collect used fire equipment as well as funds to help support fire service in other parts of the world that are not as fortunate. I'll have Scott come up here in just a minute. He'll talk about the Rescue 4 project, but there's a lot of those types of things out there. So I appreciate your support coming. Certainly spend some time here, again, looking at the various cars that are here. There is a art fair next door to us over by the library. Certainly support that in our community as well. And with that, I'd like to have Scott talk about this.
Thank you, Chief. I have to start this off by thanking, from the bottom of our hearts, in behalf of the Remembrance Rescue Project, the Chief and the members of the DeForest Fire Rescue Department. We have felt very welcome. The job that they did helping us organize our visit up here, and most importantly, the respect that they have shown us and this icon of American history has been phenomenal. Chief, gentlemen, ladies, thank you. I'd like to start off by just giving you a little bit of background on New York, the fire department of New York, and then kind of help transition into Rescue 4 itself. You're probably aware that New York is broken up into 5 boroughs: Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, and Staten Island. The fire department of New York operates many different types of vehicles. The most common are the engine and the ladder. Engine is basically the guys that go in, or the ladies that put the fire out. Ladder truck, they get everybody else in, they do forcible entry, and then they go up on top to ventilate. And then there are, with a few others, the heavy rescues. Take one particular borough, any one, there's a lot of engines. There's a lot of ladder trucks. There's one heavy rescue. They're very, very specialized. The firefighters that work on a heavy rescue are the best of the best. These are the most elite firefighters in the fire department of New York. Once you get really, really good at everything, and you're lucky enough, you make it to a rescue. These guys, when I say guys, by the way, I'm talking guys and the ladies, it's just a generic term that I use. The guys on this rig are rope specialists. They're the technical rescue guys. You got that window washer that's hanging 40 stories up in the air upside down. These are the guys that go up and get them. You've got that person that's trapped in a trench collapse or a tunnel or anything weird that's going on underground. These are the guys that go in and get them. They're the extrication specialists. They roll on accidents where someone's entrapped, can't get out of the car. They get them out. They're the scuba divers. They're also hazardous materials technicians. They wear many, many hats besides that helmet. The primary responsibility of the firefighters on a heavy rescue in New York is search and rescue. Their job, get inside the building, search for people, find them, and get them out. And that's exactly what the members of the FDNY heavy rescues were doing. The Remembrance Rescue Project, we're a group of firefighters down from the Chicago area. Last summer, we found out that Rescue 4 was being put up for public auction by New York. We bought it, we were the successful bidder, and we started up the Remembrance Rescue Project, which is a not-for-profit organization that's dedicated to educating society, particularly the younger generation, on the events of September 11th, as well as preserving and honoring the memory of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice that day. Between the 5 heavy rescues in New York that day, nobody came home. Every firefighter on all 5 of the rescues perished because their job, when they got there, get inside those buildings, get the people out. And that's exactly what they were doing. Now, as negative as that day is to most of us, we tend to forget that what they did is still, to this day, the most successful rescue mission in history. Thousands and thousands of people were saved before the tragic events of those towers coming down happened. So a big part of what the Remembrance Rescue Project does is the education. The money that we make through direct donations and from the sale of our t-shirts, part of that obviously goes back into just maintaining these rigs and paying for the restoration that we've done on them. The rest of it goes to our charity. The Remembrance Rescue Project supports firefighters and their families in need through financial assistance across the country. One of the primary things that we do is to support the families of a firefighter killed in the line of duty. To that end, it will be my pleasure to make a presentation to the chief from the Colby Fire Department. Lieutenant Jameson Kampmeyer from the Colby, Wisconsin Fire Department was killed in the line of duty earlier this year. I'll let the chief come up. Chief, on behalf of the Remembrance Rescue Project and with our sincere condolences, I would like to present this financial assistance check to you for the Kampmeyer family with our thanks.
Where do I begin? Thank you to the chief for his invite down to your beautiful community and thank you to the Remembrance Foundation for what they've done. I've been in the fire industry for 35 years. We're a small rural fire department. We have a population of about 1,800 in a small town, and then we do about 100 square miles of rural farmland that we protect. And we're always reading the articles when firefighters are killed in the line of duty. And you know, everybody is sad about it, and you wonder about the families and everything. And well, now it finally hit our community, and we're living that horror dream, as I call it. Now, my members and myself look at these organizations, such as the Remembrance Foundation, the Gear Up Foundation, and we look at them a whole lot differently now than we did before. Before we wondered about a lot of things. Now we take a look, we read a lot more about it, we see what they really stand for, what they do and what they need, and it's remarkable what these organizations do. Jameson was a 10-year member of our department. He was a 8-year member of the Sheriff's Department. He was an EMT with our department for 10 years. He dedicated his life to helping people. That's what we do. So when I could meet up with gentlemen like this that work for organizations that help the families of the people who have dedicated their lives to helping all of you, the general public, it's very humbling. It's a very humbling experience. I don't want to get into a whole lot of details about it. There is magazines for sale over here on this little white tent, the Rescue 4 tent, from the EMS Professional magazine. The two authors of that did a fantastic job on describing who Jameson is. I could sit here and talk all day about it, but he was a remarkable person. From the time he got onto the department, he was very active in our fire prevention program. He took our smokehouse to the schools and loved working with the children. He was very active in every aspect of our department. He was on the rapid intervention team. He was in our rural technical rescue group. To coin the phrase, he was the best of the best within our department. He was one of that small group. So again, thank you all for coming here, and I want to thank the Chief and the Remembrance Foundation for everything they've done on behalf of Jameson, for Amy, Jack, Henry, and Miles. We appreciate everything. Thank you.
Chief, I'd like to thank you for coming down. I know there are some other members from the Colby Fire Department here as well. So thank you for making the drive down. It's our pleasure to try to help support in memory to James. Everybody, please rise. Retire the color. I'd like to thank DeForest Area Fire and EMS Honor Guard this afternoon for bringing out the colors for us. Hey! Mark! Mark! Thank you all for coming again. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. It's a beautiful day in Wisconsin. Let's enjoy it.